What's good, everyone? Accent Boy here, back with another video. And shout out to everyone who've been subscribing to the channel, man. To be honest, man, I started this channel I think last year or sometime this year, man. And to be honest, man, it's a lot of work, man. Even though I don't know how to edit and stuff, man, some of the time it's just hard to find stuff to even talk about, man. But shout out to everyone who've been rocking with your boy, man. I know it's very hard some of the time to understand a boy, you know what I mean, because the boy is from the Caribbean but resides in the US right now. But shout out to everyone, man. But however, we got a crazy story coming out of Detroit, and this is a perfect example where whenever you see certain things, you should mind your business. And by you see from the title, yes, we have a young cute female who decided to do the most unthinkable stuff, who was trying to play the hero in this case. And I understand where she's coming from, but some of the time you just have to let certain things go and call the cops. So here you have a cute chick who decide to intervene when a man and his so-called female was having a dispute, and with that it led to her getting killed. The guy ended up following her and killing her. So we're gonna let the news come in as usual and chop it up. Then we're gonna come back and give our little 2 cents, you know what I mean? So here we go.
Well, we know the family's absolutely devastated, but they have so many questions too in terms of the investigation. Police are still trying to piece a lot of things together themselves, but the family has questions relating to how can something like this happen when their daughter tried to do the right thing.
She led with her heart. She would give you the shirt off of her back. She was always helping people.
LaDonna Kim says that's exactly what her daughter was doing when her life was stolen from her over the Labor Day weekend. Family members say 27-year-old Donnay Wilbert was gunned down at Hollywood Coney Island on Detroit's west side early Sunday morning, not long after she tried to break up a fight.
We had to even tell her, like, you can't pull over in your car when you by yourself because you see somebody on the road and they need help because it's dangerous out there. But she was kind of like the type of person that would have to like try or see for herself.
It started with Donnay and her girlfriends having a fun night out. They went to the Coney Island for a bite to eat when an argument developed between 2 men and a woman, according to sources.
She just wanted everybody to go home and get home. And I'm very sure in my thoughts of knowing that she wanted to get home. I guess the guy followed her out and she was able to get herself out of the restaurant and she was shot in the parking lot.
Although we couldn't actually touch her when we went to go view her based upon the circumstance, she even had a smile on her face as we had to observe her in her last state.
She was doing the right thing, and that's what angers me.
Detroit activist Pastor Mo works with many community groups teaching de-escalation techniques to quash beefs before they ever can turn violent. He offered this advice for safe conflict resolution.
Make sure you're in a lighted area. Read body language. Look and see if they're reaching. Look and see if there's anything poking out their waist. Look at their type of demeanor. If this is the kind of person that they would have a weapon. If this is a working class person who maybe got on work clothes, you might can reason with them. This somebody with a hoodie on. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but this is somebody who looks like they could be dangerous, menacing, or just don't care. Be careful how you approach somebody who could be having a mental breakdown.
Meantime, Donnay's family is determined to make sure her legacy lives on.
I just want whoever did this to know they took away such a bright light that shined on so many different people. Everybody that she ever talked to will remember her because of just her great shine. Just her personality was amazing, and she was amazing.
And no known arrests have been made. Police are still investigating, and they ask anyone with any information.
All right, guys, so there you go. The news chop it up for y'all, and you hear what happened. So basically 2 guys was getting to it with a female, and she decided to play the hero victim, and this basically led to her demise. And as I said, this is a perfect example where you should be minding your own business at all times. And it's sad because she was doing the right thing, you know what I mean? a female seeing two dudes trying to gang up on a female, yes, she's gonna try to de-escalate it. And you're gonna try to de-escalate it if you're that type of person, you know what I mean? And in this case, it just wasn't that time to try and de-escalate it, you know what I mean? And here you have two dudes who's arguing with a female. Like, you can call yourself a real dude and arguing with a female, because at the end of the day, she's emotional. She's gonna do anything to hype you up and get you out of your comfort zone, if you know what I'm saying. And it just goes to show you how a lot of these dudes, and I guarantee he's a black dude, I know it's a fact, I guarantee, but it just goes to show you how a lot of these so-called men of today's society are so freaking emotional, man, and getting their feelings for anything. We don't know what caused the argument or whatsoever between the two men and the female, but as men, you're supposed to be able to walk away from certain situation when it comes to a woman. Why sit there and argue with a woman, knowing that you won't win? 90% of the time you won't win. So why waste your time and energy and putting out, trying to try to get into it with a female? And I mean, and it's just sad that these dudes didn't have the balls to walk away. And not only that, it's just sad that these dudes took the poor girl life away, you know what I mean? And you could see on the mom, you could see how much it hurt the mom, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as we all know, no parent want to bury their own kid, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be the other way around. But in today's society, a lot of parents are burying their own kid at a high rate, you know what I mean? And we have to do better in our community in getting a lot of these guys off the street. Because if this guy is willing to chase this girl down who left the Coney Island restaurant and go kill her, imagine what this dusty ass dude would do someone else, you know what I mean? And it's just mind-blowing that you would have a dude who would take up his gun and go kill a female just like that, just because she's trying to de-escalate in the situation and trying to protect the female. Because you got to look at it, that could have been her mom, her sister, her niece, etc. So of course she's gonna say, oh, let me step in and try to see if I could calm things down. But clearly these dudes wasn't having it. And yes, when they said mind your business, sometimes we gotta fall back, you know what I mean? Depends on the situation. But in this situation, I think she personally should have called the police and let them handle it. But also the workers or the managers, why they didn't call the police in this situation when the two guys was arguing with the female? You know what I mean? Why not? And it's just sad, a lot of people in today's society, even though I said we gotta mind our business, a lot of people would sit there, watch, or the first thing they would do would take out their phone and record instead of trying to call the police to make things better. You know what I mean? And I understand a lot of people probably are fearful for their life or whatsoever, but you gotta do what's right. You know what I mean? Yes, she tried. She ended up getting the worst of it by trying to play a hero. But come on, her life could have been saved if the cops were called. You know what I mean? And I just hope many people, like, whenever you see a situation like this, like especially females, whenever you see a guy who is very emotional and would do anything out of anger, please stay away from that guy. You know what I mean? And also, guy, please stay away from female like that. But anyways, You have to stay away from individual like that, because at the end of the day, you just never know how those individuals would react and what they would do, because they're not thinking. They're so caught up in their feelings and are emotional that they're not thinking properly. You know what I mean? And I always say, man, some of the time it's just crazy how a lot of us black people are just willing to give our life up for no reason. You know what I mean? And I just can't picture me as a parent knowing that my daughter was trying to do something correct and someone took her or his life away. You know what I mean? And I hope that they catch the person who did this. I also heard when I was doing research, when I was watching the news on the YouTube, they were saying the crime rate in Detroit is getting worse. And of course it's everywhere, but it's one of the highest crime rate over the years. And my thing is this: yes, it have a high crime rate, but what are we doing to try lower those crime rate? You know what I mean? We have to stand up and report these crimes. Worse if we know some of these individuals, or if we see something, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, these criminals are just gonna keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And who knows, you're probably gonna end up happening to one of our family members or someone close to us, and then that's gonna give us the indication, oh, I should have said something, or I know this person, let me turn in him or her to the cops. You know what I mean? But I understand a lot of people are fearful for their life, but we have to do better and get these criminals off the streets, because these criminals, they have no remorse for no one life but theirs. And many of the time, even though they have no remorse for no one life or even their own life, they would do anything just to not get caught. You know what I mean? So it's sad that this young sister who was trying to play the hero victim lost her life due to a dusty ass dude who was in his feelings. And I just hope the family could get some type of justice and they get the dude who ever did this. So people, let me know what you think. Like, comment and subscribe.